Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now only 33 days away from its official release by Disney, Lucasfilm, J.J. Abrams, and even creator George Lucas. That is all set and ready to end the sequel trilogy and the Skywalker saga itself. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Episode 9 that a lot of fans are very curious about is to see exactly how they are going to utilize the characters of Rey, Kylo Ren, Palpatine, and even Luke Skywalker, and how that's all going to be used from start to finish of this movie that will benefit and evolve the characters of Rey and Kylo. Now, we do know that J.J. Abrams has a plan in place in order to really make this film a foundation to create new Star Wars lore, as to also change certain elements of the prequels and the originals. That's either going to be a bold choice or a very smart choice by Disney and Lucasfilm. Now, on top of all of this, we do know that Episode 9 is going to have a lot of pieces of nostalgia, as well as them taking many different risks in this movie, and I wanted to go over one of the big decisions that Disney and Lucasfilm actually made during reshoots and the rewrites that, in my point of view, honestly, I think is a terrible decision on their part that has to do with a specific character. Now, what's really intriguing about all of this is that it's explained that during the reshoots and rewrites of the film is when Disney and Lucasfilm went through various changes and adjustments to the second and third acts of the movie. It's explained that Kathleen Kennedy was more involved during the reshoots of the film, that she played a role in how the direction of some of the reshoots would go. Additionally, it's explained that it was during the adjustments where many changes were made to the concept of the Chosen One by extending the prophecy that will change how fans will view the prequels, and that Disney and Lucasfilm during the rewrites including a story element that wouldn't make Anakin the Chosen One in the film, and that the Chosen One would be handed down to either Rey or somebody else in the movie. It's explained that the Chosen One prophecy is said to be aimed at Rey in the upcoming film, where it's actually described that since she is said to be the one responsible for destroying the Sith once and for all, and killing Palpatine by use of all the Force Ghosts becoming a part of Rey in the scene, who is a compatible host to store energy from the netherworld of the Force. Now, it's explained that that they actually wanted to make Rey the Chosen One during the reshoots after Palpatine was brought back into physical form, and as if he never really died after Return of the Jedi. This is described to be a big decision between Disney and Lucasfilm, and that they wanted to tap into the origins of the Chosen One prophecy, and how the Wills are the ones who created it for many generations, which eventually was handed down to Anakin, and now will be handed down to Rey in the movie. It's described that Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy wanted Rey to have a powerful story in the third act, and that this was a part of it all between herself and J.J. Abrams, and that initially this was not on the table as a choice before the reshoots, and was originally going to be ignored. It's explained that Disney and Lucasfilm are currently piecing the ending together, with now only 33 days left until its release and around 30 days until the premiere of the film in Los Angeles, and that they are getting ready to actually market the film by bringing into, of course, the full swing with an international trailer and a series of TV spots with brand new footage that will be involved with that. Additionally, it's explained that the scene that extends the Chosen One prophecy will be explored in both the second and third acts of the film, both during Rey's personal mission, in which she makes her way to Palpatine's world called Exegol, where she gains the power of other Force Ghosts. That Disney plans to make Rey the Chosen One is what they actually feel was the best and right decision for the character, and for Star Wars to make sense that Palpatine is alive and well and still back, and that another hero will destroy the Sith now and for good. Lastly, it's planned that by Lucasfilm that Rey will even have her own lightsaber toward the end of the movie, that will be developed by destroying Anakin and Leia's lightsabers and combining the pieces into one new saber hilt that will ignite a yellow blade for both, of course, Rey in the future of her journey that will be teased as well. So let's go over a couple of parts about this, and as to why I really disagree with this direction by Disney and Lucasfilm, and this is just my point of view. If you guys agree with this or disagree with that, that is perfectly fine, and I would like to know if you guys either agree with me or disagree with me in the comments below. Now, in my point of view, I think that this is a terrible decision by Disney and Lucasfilm to actually have Rey become the Chosen One over Anakin Skywalker. In my point of view, Anakin is and only will be the Chosen One in the Star Wars franchise, because he is the one who ultimately becomes Darth Vader, redeems himself, saves the sun, and destroys the Sith. That's what I like about that story in the prequels and the originals, and now the fact that they're kind of throwing that to the wayside and just passing it down to Rey for an unknown reason. I guess just because Palpatine is alive and somebody has to destroy him, and so Rey is going to be the chosen one to destroy the Sith once and for all. And to me, I just think that that's not the best way to go. Yes, I understand that Force ghosts are becoming a part of Rey in the sequence. I understand that. Some people might actually like that idea, and I kind of do. But to do that in order to make her the chosen one, I'm not quite sure how fans are going to react to that. At least in my point of view, I don't think it's a great decision. I think that it should be Anakin Skywalker and Anakin Skywalker only, and just stick with the storyline and kind of do things the way that should be done for the Chosen One prophecy. Now, this was all said to be done during reshoots. Kathleen Kennedy wanted a different tone for the second and third acts of the movie, and she also wanted to have a side story as to exactly, what the reason would really be as to why Palpatine would be destroyed by Rey. Is that it all has to do with Rey being the chosen one now. I don't know about you guys, but in my point of view, Kylo Ren, at the very minimum, should be the one who actually gets the chosen one title because he's connected to the Skywalker bloodline. And if you look at it this way, if you look at Kylo Ren, he is basically the new Vader, kind of, in the sequel trilogy. He's basically a reverse Anakin Skywalker, from the prequels. It's basically like a reverse story. And what I like about that is that it kind of leads us to a redemption arc for Kylo at the very end of the movie, only for him to die and not be the chosen one, and to not actually have any kind of honor, where it just goes over to Rey for no reason at all, just because. Now, I feel that it should really be geared toward Kylo Ren, that's just my opinion, and even better, it should just remain as Anakin Skywalker. That's just how it should be. But I guess this is Disney's way of kind of adjusting the fact that Palpatine survived, he's alive and well, and Anakin is no longer with us, alive and well. And initially they wanted the Force ghost of Anakin to take on Palpatine, and that was eventually deleted and put to the wayside as well, and they just wanted Rey to be the new chosen one. Now, with that being said, the fact that they are trying to do this, and the fact that they are trying to explain this to fans once the movie comes out, I'm really curious to see how people are going to react in the third act, and I think it's going to be quite a divisive scene for the Star Wars fans around the world, especially the fact that Disney and Lucasfilm did this under Kathleen Kennedy over at Lucasfilm in order to kind of make Palpatine's story and basically his defeat make a little bit more sense. If you guys gotta ask me, they could have kept it simple, that maybe Palpatine was just destroyed once and for all in this movie because Rey gains the power of the Force Ghost, but they have to make it to the point where Rey is the chosen one. So that's the main thing that I disagree with, is Rey being the chosen one, and the fact that Disney and Lucasfilm are essentially doing that right now, and the fact that they're gearing that away from Anakin Skywalker and taking that title away from him, how it's essentially going to be passed down to another individual. That's why it's called Chosen One, that's what I mean. It's not Chosen Ones or something like that. It just doesn't make sense to me. It should really apply to one person and one person only. So that's the thing with episode 9, is that they're really trying to really kind of just do things that are going to be unexpected, and sometimes those choices aren't always made in a clever way, right? That's just my point of view, that's just my opinion. If you guys agree or disagree with me, that is perfectly fine, but that's just my point of view on things, everything related to Disney's decision with the Chosen One prophecy, and everything related to Anakin and Rey, and of course everything related to Palpatine's death. That's another thing. I feel that it should be Kylo and Rey teaming up to destroy Palpatine, not just Rey, or even better, just having maybe Kylo Ren destroying, Palpatine once and for all, because at the end of the day, he really is a Skywalker. He is a Skywalker by blood. And if, from the leaks that we actually have heard, apparently Ben Solo is going to die in this movie, at least for one of the 3 endings that they are currently testing with, one of which is just that Palpatine gets force pushed into a pit by Palpatine, and that's it. Kylo Ren gets force pushed, falls down, dies, and that's it, for Rey to destroy Palpatine and end the Sith for good. And that's how it all ends out, at least in one of the endings that they are testing with, which it'll be interesting to see exactly what fans have to say about that as well, and how they're all going to react. So, anyways guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.